This is a strange ancient creature, small, looks cute, but when it touches the water, it will be full of vitality, very fast growth, countless red tentacles will grow. The body also begins to become crystal clear. Never seen such a creature on Earth. Biology teacher suspects it may be some kind of parasite, want to grab it and study it carefully. Weirdly, this bug can be split into by copy-pasting. Just when everyone is shocked, there are sharp teeth hidden under the fragile body, very aggressive, startles everyone.
Damn it!
The teacher breaks out in a cold sweat, say it's okay to the students, but this terrifying creature is not only ferocious, also highly contagious. The teacher plans to send the bug to the Biology Research Institute, but actually the mother body of the bug has sneaked into the campus. The first target of the mother body is the sports coach.
Yeah? What?
At this time, the behavior of the parasitized coach begins to become abnormal, drinking water non-stop, but still feel unsatisfactory. Then he stands under the sprinkler to rehydrate. This abnormal behavior happens to be seen by the student Casey. At night, something terrible happens. The headmistress goes back to the office alone to get the keys. The coach suddenly appears behind. His intention is simple, just wants to borrow a pencil, but the principal thinks he is sexually harassing, passes him the pencil angrily. Unexpectedly, she is pierced by a pencil in the palm of her hand. Everything happens too suddenly. The headmistress is in pain, quickly slabs on his face with the keys, pushes him away. She starts to run out desperately. The coach behind is about to chase. At this moment, she successfully opens the door and runs out, lock the pervert coach inside. She thought she could escape from the coach, but the eyes of another teacher standing outside suddenly becomes cold. Then she raises the scissors. The headmistress is still doomed. The next day, students come to school as usual. No one knows what happened last night. Only Casey notices the abnormality. The coach is originally a kind person, but the temper begins to change, scolds him for no reason. It makes Casey feel a little weird. Then he finds a female physics teacher breaking into the boys' bathroom. This makes Casey feel incredible again, so he tells Lena, the editor-in-chief of the school newspaper, who is beautiful, ambitious and determined. They sneak into the office to find out. As a result, the two don't find any clues after searching, but at this moment, there are footsteps outside the door, so the two hurriedly hide in the closet. It is the coach and another female teacher. They drink water as soon as they enter the house, and then they splash water directly on the face. Casey and Lina overhear their conversation through the cracks. The content is that the physics teacher is too old to be useful. Worms can't live inside her. At this moment, the door opens again. The school doctor walks in. The female teacher quietly closes the door. Then they see a terrifying scene. The coach is holding head of school doctor, pushes the school doctor down on the sofa, and then, the coach face begins to mutate rapidly, turns into a little monster. He kills the school doctor with tongue. Seeing this scene, Lina is so frightened that she sits down on the ground, but accidentally knocks over the corpse hidden behind. It is the physics teacher. The coach hears the sound, goes to the wardrobe to check. Before he opens the wardrobe, Casey flies him out with a stick, escapes quickly with Lina. On the way to escape, the headmistress, who is supposed to be dead already, suddenly stops the two. They hurriedly tell her about it, but she doesn't believe it at all. When they try to explain, looking back, they find that the school doctor comes back to life perfectly. It leaves them speechless for a moment. It feels so weird, so they run away. Casey falls to the ground, and Lina runs away without a trace, but the teachers don't chase them. Soon after, Casey, accompanied by his parents, brings the police to the office to search. Headmistress is very cooperative. After opening the cabinet door, the corpse turns into a doll. No other abnormalities is found. The headmistress proposes to have a private conversation with the police. After the two come out, the police's eyes also start to look strange. Apparently he is parasitized too. After the police leave, headmistress wants to talk to Casey's mom alone. It makes Casey panic, hastily lies that he is going to see a doctor, so can get his mom out of the monster. Soon, mother body of the bug, with the help of the coach, directly carries out all kinds of brutal attacks. A group of teachers have fallen. They get together and drink water like crazy, drink bucket after bucket. Then the teachers, as a potent source of infection, let the students line up to go into the office one by one for physical examination. When students come out, became very irritable, same as teachers. Everyone starts queuing up to drink water like crazy. All kinds of signs make Casey suddenly think of the mysterious bug activated by water, so he calls a few classmates to the laboratory. The worms in the fish tank have disappeared. Casey thinks aliens invade the school. All teachers are possessed. The other side, Steve, a scumbag, has his eyes on Mary, a new transfer student with a sweet smile. He hooks up with Mary in a few words. They sneak into the chemistry lab. Just when the two are about to do something more, suddenly overhear a funny conversation between Casey next door and someone else. After Steve walks in, hasn't had time to mock them yet, suddenly the biology teacher appears, asks them why they don't go to class. Steve, on the side, directly states Casey's doubts about the teachers, but they soon realize that Casey is actually right.
Doesn't disrupt Mr. Furlong, but it Kindly take your seats. This will be over quite quickly. Sit down! Ah!
Casey wants to escape, but teacher grabs his neck, throws it hard. Steve sees the situation is not good, immediately pulls out the paper cutter, cut off the 5 fingers of the teacher, but unexpectedly the fingers that fall to the ground have lives. They crawl towards several female classmates like bugs. The teacher pushes Steve down on the table, red tentacles protrude from the wound, wants to infect Steve. At this critical moment, Steve takes out a diuretic, directly into his eye. Then the teacher twitches all over. It is a careless move, but they discover that diuretics are actually the nemesis of bugs. Now they try to escape. Casey grabs a bug with a bottle, decides to take it home for research. When they leave, the noisy school has become orderly. The students have also become attentive listeners in class, actively raise the hand to speak, discipline after class, no more frolicking in the hallway. Looks like the bug has started spreading across the school. Many students are parasitized, lost their individuality, lose any normal emotional response. They cannot stay here anymore, so they drive car to get out of here. The policemen they meet on the road are also possessed by bugs, so they turn around and drive away. Everyone comes to Steve's secret experimental base. Steve says, a scumbag does not mean a low IQ. Steve cuts off a part of the tail of the parasite brought back from school and throws it into the cage of the little white mouse. After a drop of water, a strange scene happens. Bug is quickly parasitized in the mouse. A delicate symbiotic relationship has been reached, so Steve strangles the mouse, starts dissecting it, removes the whole parasite. After research, it was found. Parasite that matures in mouse is not independent individual, but only part of the matrix. Once infected by it, the host will be manipulated. According to science fiction theory, just kill them, a body can completely eliminate all parasites. The parasitic puppets will also turn back into humans. Fortunately, they discovered that diuretics are their killer. Just sprinkle a little, the parasites will immediately dehydrate and die. Lina proposes to escape if possible, but Casey believes that it is necessary to be proactive, find the mother body. Now Curly Hair makes a question. Nobody guarantee any one of them here is not parasitized at this time. The search for the mother body has not yet begun. Internal conflict appears. Steve has an idea, gets out the diuretics and gives everyone each, to prove that they are human. After some testing, unexpectedly, Lina has already been possessed by the bug. Seeing things disclosure, she pushes the curly hair down. At this moment, Casey raises his pistol and is ready to shoot, but he had crush on Lina, so he cannot do it. Lina, who is dominated by the bug, takes the opportunity to destroy all the raw materials in the lab, then breaks out and runs away. Seeing that the diuretic is running out, all of them chase after, and try to go to the school to find the mother body and destroy it. Now the school is holding its annual rugby game. Most of the people in the town gather here. If the mother body is not found soon, everyone here will be infected. At this time, the headmistress in the crowd gets their attention. They guess she is very likely to be the mother body, and the headmistress notices them too, so they set up a trap. Lead the headmistress into the gym. They put her on the ground and try to get her under control, but she doesn't cooperate at all, still quibbling. Then Steve shoots her right away. However, the headmistress stands up again. Innumerable parasites drills out of the body. Seeing this, Mary directly splashes the remaining diuretic all over her face. It's too late for Steve to stop. After a few roars, the headmistress dies. In order to verify whether headmistress is the mother body, the curly hair wants to go out to check the situation, but right now there are only 2 diuretics left. He takes one and runs towards the playground in the heavy rain. When comes to the playground, he finds that the coach body has mutated, standing on the playground to absorb rainwater. It seems they guessed wrongly. The headmistress is not mother body. Everyone in the gym looks anxious, but can't see outside. The curly hair suddenly shows up, say the mother body is not dead, ask them to open the door, but Casey and the others are smart enough, only pass the last diuretic out for him to verify, but he dumps it on the ground. Apparently he is also controlled by the bug. Now, diuretics have also run out. Everybody is stuck here again. Steve suddenly thinks of still some diuretics are left in the car, so Steve and Casey decide to venture out and try. But soon after, they meet a group of parasitic students. The 2 hurriedly hide under the car, but there are still a few steps away from Steve's car. Decisively, Casey runs out to be the bait. When he hides in a bus, Lina, whom Casey has a crush on, suddenly appears. Lina wants Casey to be the kind she likes, so the 2 can be together forever. But Casey doesn't listen to her sweet talk. Then, he climbs up the skylight, jumps off the roof, runs to the gym, lures away the bugs. The woman's head falls to the ground, and there are many legs from the neck down. Every leg is soft and smooth. Steve takes out his gun, wants to shoot, but seeing this monster is looking for its own body, Steve scares away, does not make an immediate move, but decisively leaves here. Steve takes the opportunity to run to the car and opens the trunk. However, he's still being targeted by the bug.
Hello, sweetie pie.
She said she wants to eat Steve. Now Steve tries to be calm, and dodges and jumps into the car, just starts the car, Woman breaks car window and gets into car. This woman is one of Steve's teacher. She is also parasitized by the bug. In order not to be eaten, Steve buckles up his seat belt in a panic and steps on the gas pedal to the bottom. The car hits another car hard. The teacher is bounced out. Then the car explodes violently. Steve drags his injured body and climbs out of the car. Still remember to hold a few diuretics on hand. However, at this moment, a head whizzes past him. Steve is so frightened, and he stands up immediately, takes out the pistol and shoot. Finally finishes this teacher's life. At the same time, Mary in the gym suddenly attacks the short-haired girl. It turns out that this newcomer girl is the big boss, the real mother body. She takes off the human skin, turns into a very ugly monster. Seeing this, the two flee in a hurry. The monster follows, but when the two escape to the swimming pool, the monster plunges into the water, crazily chases them at a very fast speed. Huge tentacles protruding from the water, attacks on short-haired girl, eventually drags her into the water. See the monster open its mouth full of fangs. Emergency moment, short-haired girl suddenly awakes, surfaces quickly. Casey quickly rescues her. Now, the body of the monster also surfaces. The beast-like roar continues. The two are so frightened and run away. The monster slowly retreats into the pool, changes back to human form. The mother turns into Mary again and walks out of the swimming pool. At this time, Steve returns to the gym with diuretics. He doesn't know what just happened. The girl with short hair on the left, on the right is Mary in human form, watching two girls pointing at each other. Eventually Mary stops pretending. She says that in order to hide herself, secretly poured out the diuretic while everyone was not paying attention. That's how she fooled everyone. Steve, who learns the truth, wants to strike Mary. The short-haired girl suddenly blocks him. Turns out she is parasitized too. At this moment, Casey holds the short-haired girl from behind, throws her in a cage and locks her up. Steve gives the diuretics to Casey. The two are going to separate to find the mother body. Sees the shaking shadow of the monster. Just before Casey reacts, Steve is thrown far away by the monster, temporarily fainted. The monster's approaching. Kathy backs away in fright. Then the short-haired girl grabs his hair. Just when he is about to be parasitized, Casey breaks his hair to survive, runs away in a hurry. The monster behind quickly launches an attack. It waves its tentacles and knocks the wardrobe away, trying to crush Casey. Luckily, Casey can run faster a bit. After dodging the attack, he runs into the basketball court. When the monster catches up, he activates the switch of the electric folding chair on the stand, then quickly gets under the narrow seat. The monster follows. Casey stops on purpose. By the time the monster finds out about the trap, it's too late. Huge gears turning fast. The stands are also shrinking. Casey gets out in time at the last moment with his flexible body, but the monster is huge, clumsy, stuck there. But this needle goes down. The monster howls and shoots countless parasites into Casey's skin. Just when Casey thinks he is going to die, thank goodness, diuretics are finally working. The mother body is rapidly dehydrated. Soon, there is no movement. The bugs that entered Casey's body also fall out one after another. The monster body also withers quickly. All those infected with the parasite recover. As for Casey, also becomes the hero for protecting the campus. And finally, Casey and Lina are getting together.